Good morning and welcome to Day 2 of the 2021 Small Business Celebration Candidates Showcase. Please welcome back to your screen David Prente, Senior Vice President of Strategic Partnerships with the Greater Kansas City Chamber of Commerce.
Hello and welcome back to Day 2 of our virtual Candidates Showcase. If you were with us yesterday, you saw how fast-paced, fun, and informative it was. We know today will be just as exciting, if not more. Special thanks to all of our terrific candidates for taking part in the Small Business Celebration. We know this year has been challenging for all of you. We are so glad you're here taking part today, and we wish you all luck. Thanks to all of the viewers attending today to cheer on your favorite small business. A reminder to vote for your Honeywell Fan Favorite Award for your favorite presentation today. You'll have a link emailed to you after the final presentation, and you can vote today until 5 p.m. Then, at 5, we will announce the Honeywell Fan Favorite winners from Day 1 and Day 2 on our Facebook page live. Speaking of sponsors, we want to give a special thanks to the virtual Candidate Showcase sponsor, American Century Investments. We've worked with American Century for years, and we're so glad to have their support, especially when we've gone virtual 2 years in a row. American Century is doing some wonderful things to support small business. And now, it's my honor to introduce my good friend, Diane Gallagher, Vice President, Head of Employee Experience at American Century.
Thanks so much, David. Hello to everyone out there watching this live on YouTube and to all our amazing candidates. We had the pleasure of watching yesterday's presentations and seeing how Kansas City small businesses are staying strong just as they've done for the past 14 months. In fact, Kansas City as a community has shown how we can adapt and work together to get through difficult times. That has always been one of the best parts of our community, and it's definitely on display at this year's virtual Candidate Showcase. At American Century Investments, we're proud to contribute to that sense of community. We've been a part of Kansas City for more than 60 years. In that time, we've seen some of the best innovations and success stories come from small businesses that started in someone's garage, basement, backyard, or kitchen table. Our founder, James Stowers, started American Century from his one-bedroom apartment on the Country Club Plaza. Mr. Stowers believed in Kansas City and supporting small businesses and giving back. It's a belief we still have today. At American Century, we know small businesses are the backbone of our community. Strong small businesses lift up neighborhoods, create a sense of community, and they drive our economy. We're proud to have been a supporter of the Chamber's Small Business Celebration for so many years to help small businesses shine. As David mentioned, this year we'll continue the Shark Tank style presentation. Candidates will have 1 minute to give their presentation, followed by 3 minutes to answer the judges' questions. And as always, the judges are anonymous, even in a virtual setting. You'll hear their voices, but you won't be able to see them. So get ready to see some great pitches and learn about the excellent small businesses competing for our Small Business Awards, culminating with the Mr. K Award. I'll turn it back over to David to get us started.
All right, without further ado, let's introduce our first candidate of Day 2. Our first candidate is a full-service technology company owned and operated in Kansas City. They specialize in 3D modeling, rapid prototyping, print-on-demand services, education, 3D photography, and more. Please welcome to your screen 3D HQ.
KC Chamber, welcome to 3D HQ. Come on in and meet the team. That's my boy Nick right there, and right next to him, Finn. So 3D HQ, we are a full-service 3D technology company. We do everything from 3D modeling to scanning to print-on-demand services, rapid prototyping. At our heart and soul, we scan and 3D print people and their pets. Guys, the future is now. It's happening now. 2020 kept us on our toes. We wanted to be a part of the solution, and what that meant for us was printing protective equipment. We did everything from masks to face shields. We even got innovative and came up with products that didn't exist before. We got recognition from local media to Congressman Emmanuel Cleaver. And what we're doing today, guys, is we're inviting you down to come visit us on the Country Club Plaza, where we'll scan you and show you what it's like to be a part of the future. 3D HQ, where dreams come to life.
Congratulations, Nick, on a really cool business. Your business there is just really, it looks like it's had some great growth. What I'd love to hear more about is, what are you most proud of? You mentioned in your application surviving, but I'd love to hear, more about like those, just what you're really proud of, so we can showcase your business.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So to introduce myself, I'm Fabian Condi. I'm the co-founder and CEO of 3DHQ. And with Nick, we partnered together to create 3DHQ, again, full service 3D technology company. As far as what we're really proud of, outside of the protective equipment that we launched and printed over the last 16 months, we're really excited about the other projects that we're constantly taking on. Whether it's printing sprockets for wind turbines for local and regional companies, or literally 3D printing shoes for customers when they have specific requests. I see that there's some dentists here in the show today. One of the dentists here in town brought us, they'll probably recognize this. This is a bite wing tip or tab, and we recreated it. So this is what we mean by reverse engineering, or whether it's launching new products. This is me as a Lego character. So we're now putting heads on Lego bodies, working with, companies like, John Deere, to help them with their presentations. So we're really excited about the future of 3D printing. We really believe that it's in its infancy and the future's bright. So we're excited about those things.
Thank you.
I was wondering if you could tell us a little more about your partnering with Johnson County Community College for recruiting.
Absolutely. So at our, outside of 3D printing people and pets, I'm a big believer in lifelong learning. So we started partnering with local educational institutions, and the Johnson County Community College has one of the most fascinating 3D animation programs, not just in Kansas, not just in the country, in the world. It's truly amazing what they're doing over there. It's a 2-year program, and it has a lot of overlap with 3D technology, right? So 3D animation can also create files that we can 3D print. So we partnered with that program to just really start to create a pipeline of young talent here in Kansas City. We've also worked with organizations like Operation Breakthrough and their Ignition Lab, which just broke ground this week. During the protest last summer, we've been partnering with Urban Tech to bring this technology into the hands of, urban children. So education is something that we strongly believe in, and it's part of our effort and mission to turn Kansas City into a 3D technology hub.
Very good, thank you. It's a wonderful way to give back to our community. Thank you.
Of course.
All right, we're off and running. This is going to be fun. Our next candidate is a premier custom software consultancy. For 10 years, they've worked with clients to solve complex business challenges by building transformative digital solutions. Please welcome Artisan Technology Group.
Good morning, Kansas City. My name is Steve Timperley. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer and one of the owners of Artisan Technology Group. At Artisan, we solve complex business challenges by building custom solutions for our clients throughout the Midwest. Last year, we were the 3rd fastest growing company in Kansas City. And this year, we were recognized by Inc. magazine as the 2nd fastest growing private company in the Midwest region. Today, we are just shy of 60 people. As we've grown, a priority for us has been to find ways to give back, not only for the sake of our community, but also to enrich the lives of our associates. Earlier this year, we launched our Making a Difference program, a way to leverage our team's expertise to mentor and coach underserved youth in Kansas City, and to design and build digital solutions for nonprofits doing incredible work in our backyard. We're honored to be included amongst such impressive Kansas City companies for the Mr. K Award. Thank you for the opportunity.
Congratulations on your nomination. Mr. K understood the value of diversity in creating a success that lasts. which is why the Chamber added a fourth pillar this year to the Small Business of the Year award to elevate the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Can you define what inclusion means to you and your business?
So first and foremost, it's having a culture that feels inclusive, that recognizes the value of a diverse background, especially when we're working with a number of different clients and building creative solutions that ultimately impact users that are from very diverse backgrounds. So diversity for us starts with the culture and making people feel empowered and living by the values that we have in our business.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was such a great answer. I'd love to expand on that. Steve, and can you tell us more? Another one of the pillars is all about how do you treat your associates and what are some of the benefits that you provide to keep them? So if you could just expand on the culture, what does that look and feel like at Artisan? And then also, what are some of the benefits that you provide your associates?
Sure. So culture in a year that we've all experienced has been a very interesting challenge for us. We pride ourselves on having a great culture that really includes weekly happy hours with our teams on Fridays. Those have turned into virtual happy hours with our teams every Friday. We have a shout outs channel where we recognize all the great work that all of our people are doing. And everyone is encouraged to not only recognize it, but shout it out to the whole company so that they're doing, when they're doing great work, they get recognized within that. But in a virtual environment, what we've done is tried to take every effort that we can to get FaceTime. So our entire executive team during COVID last year made the effort to visit all of our associates, most of which are in the Kansas City area, visit them at their homes, drop off care packages to make sure that they were doing well during COVID. And we try and incorporate new opportunities for that all the time. We're excited that just this week, in fact, it officially happened today, I'm standing in our new office in Kansas City. We're officially opening our doors to our new office and have a very flexible program for associates to come back into the office so that we can have more FaceTime and build back the culture that isn't only remote, but also in person.
Thank you.
Sunny out there, so congrats on the new office. This next one is a team of software engineers and architects who work as an extension of their client's team. You may have seen their hashtag on social media on Thursdays, Noggin Day. Now you can meet Binary Noggin.
After graduating from the University of Missouri-Rolla, I commuted 100 miles each way for 7 years. I spent hours on the road thinking about what makes great companies, great software, and great people. During this time, I also worked in the Missouri Air National Guard and took to heart the core values of integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. I wanted to build a company of amazing lifelong learners, working on amazing teams and crafting amazing software together with our clients. In 2013, I took Binary Noggin full-time with no outside investors or loans and a mission to build sustainable software in collaboration with our clients, fostering long-term confidence and success. We couldn't be a set of developers that hide in a closet and later emerge back with software. To build sustainable software, we needed sustainable teams and informed owners. That meant building our teams and our clients' teams as well. We have worked with clients from two-person startups to the largest companies in the world like Ford, Toyota, and Schneider Electric. Just this year, we had two of our clients, SmartRent and Procore, both IPO. In the last few years, we've gone from a mainly two-person team to a company of 8, and profits in 2020 increased by 350% while reducing our cost to clients.
So congratulations. That was amazing. Just delivering all of that great content. Can you speak more to the 2020 piece that you just talked about? Like what specifically, you had great results and you significantly expanded. What led to that success?
So I think a lot of it comes from in the past, whenever we built this company, we built it with no loans and no investors. So we didn't have anybody to answer to except for our clients, which allowed us to pick clients and work with clients that we can be successful with and they can be successful with us. And in doing so and building up cash reserves over time, we started to hire people in the last couple of years. and moved to Kansas City also. So that has been a big benefit. We came from St. James, Missouri, which is a little town in central Missouri. And we came here to grow the company and to join the Kansas City community because we saw how amazing it was and how growing it was. And we just continued to build on relationships and work with meetups and other developers and helping other developers in the community. We have sponsorships in our career field in computer science and software engineering. It's not very diverse. There's not a very diverse workforce, especially women are very underrepresented. So we've started offering sponsorships and believing that we can grow the underrepresented groups by incorporating them into the wider community, not just into us. So we offer scholarships to underrepresented folks to join us at conferences and things like that.
Thank you so much.
That's wonderful. You spoke a little bit about your outreach and diversity, but can you tell a little bit more about your community involvement and what you do for Kansas City as a whole?
Yeah, so it's been hard since we just moved here and are starting to grow in Kansas City, especially with COVID and everything in the last couple of years. So we just started to get involved, and then everything shut down. Throughout that time, we've provided help at food pantries and packing trucks and helping pack cars, as well as financial support to organizations like Harvesters to feed local people. We also encourage our employees to, we build socks filled with like water and chapstick and a couple bucks. And when we find homeless people in the community that are seeking help, we've offered that to them. And socks, I can't tell you how many times people thank us for giving them socks because it's really important to keep their feet dry and clean.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very cool. This next candidate started out with t-shirts out of its founder's parents' basement a decade ago. Since then, this apparel company has become a KC favorite, featuring shirts, pins, and other items, and of course, that KC heart. Please welcome Charlie Hustle.
Thanks, David. I'm Chase McAnulty, founder and CEO of Charlie Hustle. And as David mentioned, we're celebrating our 10th year in business. It's been pretty crazy. And in 2019, we had the pleasure, the honor really, of being a part of the top 10 small businesses. So we're excited to be back here. But I will tell you, we didn't deserve to win it then. We had a lot of work to do. We had a lot of building to do and growing up to do. And, you know, I think this year really allowed us to this past year really allowed us to dig in and try to, you know, understand, think about things differently, not just how to survive, but how we can go make an impact. We use the t-shirt to tell stories. And this was our kind of breakout moment to say, you know what, we can do a whole lot more inside of our community with the team that we've established. And I've been lucky enough to work alongside Greg Moore here. Hired him as COO 3 years ago, and he's been a big part of this company and the future of this company. And Greg, I'd like you to kind of pop in there and say a few words, if you will.
Thanks, Chase.
Chase, hi, Greg.
Hey, Dave.
You guys have expanded your time past the allotted, so we're going to shift over to the judges. Greg, it's good to see you, but judges, you're up.
Congratulations, Chase and Greg, and thanks, Chase, for being vulnerable and sharing, you know, some of your story as far as a couple of years ago. I'd love you to expand on that and kind of share what were some of the lessons learned, because I think success is all about the lessons that you learned, and now kind of going forward, what are some of the things you're going to change?
Well, I think a big piece of it was, you know, it all starts with your culture and having the right strategy. But culture is not necessarily about making everybody happy. It's about giving everybody a purpose and working towards a common goal. And I didn't always understand that as a leader. I've taken significant time to find mentors and continuing education and try to become a better leader. But, our purpose was about evoking happiness. I think we've created a product that makes people happy. And at the end of the day, we look at it in our company as the 3 C's: community, what we do in the community to evoke happiness, what we do with the customer to evoke happiness, and then what we do with our internal culture to evoke happiness. And everything starts there. That's kind of our foundation. And, we've really taken that and ran with it. And the team has really bought into that method.
Thanks, Chase.
Can you talk a little bit about your plans for the future, growth opportunities, and some of the challenges that you think you'll face?
Well, in the beginning, we really started as this, didn't have much of a strategy. I wanted to make T-shirts, sports T-shirts. And we really pivoted towards this local brand. Obviously, the Casey Hart was something that took off. So you fast forward that to now, we're trying to understand how do we become a Midwest brand? How do we attract new customers? We're doing a lot of that through the collegiate market, through different wholesale opportunities, and then through our foundation. We've established our own Heart of KC Foundation that we've been able to give back quite a lot to this community and help support it in different ways. And I think a lot of the new generation is looking for something to tie themselves to, brands to tie themselves to, something that's bigger than themselves. And I think that's kind of our approach going forward. How do we become more regional, and how do we continue to do the good things that we've done thus far?
Thanks, Chase. Can you speak to what your thoughts, like what is about diversity and inclusion, and what does that mean to you and Charlie Hustle?
Sure. I think, we all have gifts. We all have talents. Some of us get to contribute those talents to society. I've been fortunate to be one of those people. But I think we cannot truly flourish as a society until we value the inherent worth of all individuals. And I think moving forward, it's not just about creating a position, it's really about how we're perceived as a company. And this time has really allowed us to take a step back and say, what are we doing wrong? How can we improve? We've grown just from that. Are we perceived as kind of relating to the white customer? That's not what we set out to do. So how do we continue to be more inclusive and continue to further what we've created that evokes happiness to everybody? That would be my response there.
Thanks so much, Chase.
Thank you.
Okay, I know I'm going to get some grief from Greg Moore on that one. Thanks, guys. Our next business combined chicken sandwiches with pickleball to create an entire entertainment experience. This restaurant has locations across the region, giving patrons and visitors delicious food and plenty of recreational activities. They continue to grow. Please welcome Chicken and Pickle.
Howdy, everybody. I'm Dave Johnson, the founder of Chicken and Pickle. I'm here with Kelly Aldridge, our Senior Vice President, ABC. She'll explain in a minute. Here at Chicken and Pickle, we're all about good food, family, friends, and great fun. We want this to be a great family experience for people 6 to 86. We want to be a community spot that everybody goes to. We want to be the Cheers of Kansas City. Kelly?
And I'm Kelly Aldridge, Senior Vice President, ABC, Anything But Cook. And that title started as a joke, but it is very true. I dabble in a little bit of everything, but I stay out of the kitchen. Chicken and Pickle is unique. We're one of a kind with a huge heart to serve and support the community that supports us.
In fact, what truly sets us apart is our devotion to charitable and civic things. We do over 200 events here. Kelly started it with one charitable event. We had a cold day in January where we had 200 people on a January Saturday morning here. And I said to her, Kelly, how often can we do this? And she has literally figured out how to have hundreds of charitable events here. And we've encapsulated in a phrase that we've come up with that our hearts are local. And we try to live that every day. It's easy to say, it's harder to do. So we're here every day trying to do stuff with civic and charitable things. Every time you come, you can buy a green cup, and $1.50 of that cup goes to a charity, rotating every 2 weeks. And Kelly loves to say, she tries to figure out how not to say no.
That is our challenge. Last year, we created the Chicken and Pickle Foundation.
If I could step in, I apologize. We're going to kick it over to the judges now. Again, trying to be respectful of everybody having the same allocation. Over to the judges.
Congratulations to both of you. I'd love to hear how, I remember recently, I think you guys opened a location in San Antonio, like maybe over a year ago. Yeah. So would love to hear, how do you figure out like where you're going to geographically target?
So San Antonio was our third store. Oklahoma City was our fourth. We were brilliant and opened San Antonio when COVID started. So it's never operated in a non-COVID environment. We are going to rapidly announce stores 7, 8, 9, and 10. They're going to be, we're focusing frankly on the large metropolitan areas. The larger the area, the better. We'd like to be the first flag in many places. So Texas obviously has a lot of those. A brilliant guy that worked for me, frankly, had our strategy I'll sell to you guys today. I said, where should we open Chicken and Pickles? And he said, anywhere that Southwest flies nonstop. So that's kind of our map.
Thanks.
You mentioned a lot about your involvement in giving back to the community, but can you tell us a little bit about your diversity and what inclusion means to you in your workplace?
Our top charity that she and I both do is Christa Ray. I think it's one of the most powerful things in Kansas City. This is the former Dancing with the Stars winner 2 years ago. We had a good friend dance last year and a good friend this year. And so getting those students up here working with us has been a tremendous thing. I think it's one of the greatest things you can do in the city is to give back through established institutions and support them. So we're big backers of Christa Ray. Had an event up here about a month ago. Their Dancing with the Stars is coming up. What else, Gal?
We're always learning, right? We love variety. KC, that's one of our favorite groups to partner with. We love impacting people directly. There's this really cool kid. He's an 8-year-old. His name's Wade. We had to give back with Variety KC so he could ride a bike. He has cerebral palsy. He couldn't ride a normal bike. What motivates us is when we can impact people directly. Martin Luther King Day, for the first time ever, we closed as a company for the morning. All locations, we closed down. We just did a walk with our staff. We invited family to meet us after the walk, and we had breakfast and pickleball, and we opened up at noon. But that's something we will continue to do every year. Wounded Warriors, there's a group coming to San Antonio next week, just 8 of them. They're gonna play some pickleball. We're gonna treat them to lunch. You know, no group is too small. We just love touching people.
Thank you. I have one more question. Can you speak to the unique benefits that you offer your associates?
Absolutely. COVID, we had the time to do some things we've been wanting to do and hadn't been able to do. We did create our Chicken and Pickle Foundation, and a big part of that was an employee giving fund. We give up to $500 for employees for a basic need, whether it be food, shelter, education, clothing. And it's been a huge success. We helped a lot of people this last year. We also have a matching program. We'll match up to $250 to any employee that donates personally. I love learning about their passions, what's important to them. that truly makes me better on how this foundation can impact the city.
And we like to say we operate as a family. Anybody can say that, but we try to live it every day. And we say the most important thing's family. So if anybody comes in here, has a 3 o'clock JV basketball game, soccer game, we say go. You do your family, those kids are going to grow up. So we hope to live that every day, treat people like family. I think the highest compliment I've had in business is treating people right. We've had a lot of people leave for other jobs.
We're at that time. I apologize. Lots of good stuff going on there. We thank you and the judges for being mindful of our time. Also want to thank all the candidates so far. Right now, we're going to take time and thank the businesses in Greater Kansas City that support the Small Business Celebration. Thank you to our overall small business programming sponsor, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater Kansas City. Blue KC not only supports this celebration, but also supports the community through innovative healthcare tools, such as Mindful KC, a mental health tool that helps connect people to mental health and wellness experts, something that has been a big help over this past year. Thanks again to Blue KC. All right, now this next candidate is a financial literacy company that teaches people to take control of their finances. They believe financial education is more than budgeting, saving, and paying off debt. This business believes it's about freedom, financial stability, and going after your biggest dreams. Please welcome Deeper Than Money.
Hi, I am Chloe Elise, and I'm the founder of Deeper Than Money. Deeper Than Money is a financial literacy company that I founded in August of 2018. Our mission is to teach people from all backgrounds how to take control of their finances and change the trajectory of their lives. We believe that financial education is more than budgeting, paying off debt, or investing for retirement. It's about the freedom of financial stability. It's about being able to live life to the fullest, give generously, and improve the lives of those around us too. We do this through coaching programs, self-study courses, free resources, and more. From a business standpoint, Deeper Than Money has grown from less than $5,000 in revenue in 2018 to 2021, where we will surpass $1 million in revenue. As a certified financial coach, I believe the path to financial freedom doesn't have to be boring and restrictive, full of things you're not allowed to spend your money on. Over the past 3 years, we've shown thousands of people in their 20s and 30s how to build a life they want without restriction, and we're on a mission to spread this reality to thousands more. Thank you so much for having me and hearing about our mission at Deeper Than Money.
Hello, congratulations on your success. I mean, that's quite a growth trajectory there. But as you grow, I guess, and you say you are getting clients from all backgrounds, can you talk to us a little about your recruiting or your sales strategy, and how do you find these diverse clients?
Absolutely. So one of the biggest things that we really care about at Deeper Than Money is accessible access to financial literacy. And so we create a ton of free content, free resources, free trainings. We have a podcast that's free to listen to. And so we care more about connecting whoever it is in our audience with the right resource, whether that be a paid program or whether that be, again, one of our free trainings. And so our sales process is really centered in client experience and making sure that whoever the person is, that they are connected with the resources that fit best for them to give them the best transformation with where they're at.
Great, thank you.
Hello, as the millennial in the group, it was great to see a company targeted towards millennials here, so I appreciate your business. But it makes me wonder, as millennials kind of move up in their career, their financial and career opportunities change, how do you keep your business model changing with them? We're an ever-changing group, and how does a business targeted towards them continue to last?
Absolutely. So in addition to the millennial group, we also have a huge client base that is Gen Z that's moving up. And so we've really pivoted our mission from solely targeting millennials and working with millennials to also being more inclusive of, hey, people in their 20s and 30s. And while we do, most of our resources apply to people outside of that range, but we really want to make sure that we're niching down to give the best support to that age range. So we're really pivoting to 20s and 30s.
Following up, looking at kind of your current staff, and look like you guys continue to grow in numbers. What's the long-term plan there, and how are you going to bring in more diversity and inclusion in your staffing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So one of the big things that we really care about is our business model centers around making sure that we're bringing in diverse groups of people. And that comes from not just from, how do I explain this? From a work perspective. So for me, it's really important that I'm serving my current team and figuring out what are the things they love doing in the company, what are the things that they don't love doing, and then I'm hiring for those positions that they don't love, which means we're bringing in people with different strengths and different interests, which is incredible and has continued to make our current team really diverse. And our long-term goal is to continue to grow massively, which we've already done in the past 3 years. And so making sure that we are looking in all places, that we are really making, again, our hiring process an accessible and forward-looking process to where we are bringing in candidates from all different backgrounds and giving them the same opportunities and transparency upon hiring.
Good stuff. Thank you very much. This next candidate is an advertising agency and outsourced marketing department for growing companies. They also provide resources to help businesses grow their toolbox and how to know when it's time to take that next step. Please welcome EAG Advertising and Marketing.
Good morning, and congratulations on your continued success at EAG. I wanted to ask a little bit about your business and your staffing. Marketing is not a very diverse business environment. I mean, there's a lot of white people and white females and white males. And just wanted to know a little bit about how you are approaching the diversity within your business and including a more broad-based, diverse employee base, I guess I could say that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, diversity is one of those things, it covers all categories. It covers age, race, gender, age, religion, visible, invisible disabilities, sexual orientation. And, the thing about diversity, it's about a wide breadth of experiences and values. And we look at that, and when we look at our workforce, we do range from Gen Z to boomers. We are a workforce that practices a variety of religions. We've got multiracial families in our workforce. Our clients are a group that just varies in every aspect of diversity that you can. But that said, we know we haven't nailed this. We recently did an employee survey. We do regular employee surveys, and 2 of our long-term employees asked, why aren't we a more diverse workforce? Why aren't we a more diverse workforce, specifically in race? And it was kind of a punch in the gut. Not that we didn't realize that, and not that that's not something that we're working toward, but you're right, this industry has a history of not being as diverse. And so despite all that, that I just mentioned, that we're nailing in some of the areas of diversity, we know that, and also actually with our community engagement too, but we just know that we will need to continue to do the work. We're always going to have to continue to do the work, and we will continue to do the work.
Hey, Michelle, I really enjoyed reading about your background and your application. And I was wondering how kind of the uniqueness of not having a formal education and then kind of taking a break mid-career and starting over, how that's changed your experience and your management style. How have you brought that into who you recruit and how you manage?
Oh, that's interesting. I can tell you that, being in your 40s and saying, all right, I'm having kids, the whole pregnancy and the 40 thing, number one, but just doing that and then saying, you know what, I want to be a part of the community that I live in and I need to find a career here. It takes a different mindset. And so how has it changed? I think it's changed the way I think that we look at our culture and look at how we, I don't want to say more tolerance, but we're more understanding in terms of our culture, whether they're coming from the type of background that I came from, or they're just starting out in their careers, that ability to do what they need to do, not have to run that rat race that is so often happening in the advertising companies and marketing field in general, and to know that they've got a focus on the quality of life and that they're able to do the things that they need to do to take care of their communities, to take care of their families, to take care of themselves without a work-life balance, just talking the talk, but we're really walking the walk between that and understanding what people need to fulfill their lives along with work.
Great answer. Okay, our next presenter today is a KC-based commercial construction company that self-performs construction management, carpentry, painting, flooring, selective concrete, and demolition. This woman-owned business has been around for a decade and strives to put team collaboration at the center of everything they do. Please welcome Hartline Construction LLC.
How did a degreed architect go from designing to building? The recession of '08 found me without a job and looking for the next path. I was encouraged by a local contractor to open Hartline Construction. The first few years were interesting, a female in a man's world of construction. Trying to pierce the good old boy network was often difficult. Hartline has gained the respect of repeat clients and local contractors. I live by unto much is given, much is expected. I am currently a board member of the Kansas City Community Gardens, Working Family Friends, and a past board member of Sheffield Place. In addition, Hartline is a sitting board member of the Kansas City Builders Association. In 2018, Hartline pursued a relationship with KC Airport developer Edgemoor. We were successful and now work on the largest construction project in Kansas City history. During this pandemic, we have continued to employ and to date have over 15% boots on ground labor of females and minorities working on this large KCI construction site. I have an open door policy with employees. When an employee introduces me as the boss, I turn this around and say, Hartline is a team, and we're only as strong as you, the employee. Thank you for listening.
Good morning. Congratulations also on your success and breaking into a male-dominated field. I really loved your quote on that you just mentioned and is also in your application about unto much is given, much is expected. And I'm wondering how you translate that into internally. You obviously do a lot externally in the community, but how does that translate internally into your team and the culture and having all your employee base follow that same mantra?
Well, and we're part of the collective bargaining agreement labor. I'm signatory to unions, and they see what I do. By seeing what I do, they do. They see me as an active member. Very small, we joined the Builders Association. Then I was asked to be on the board. They see me giving my time to that, thus they want to. We've been fortunate to be able to give some of our labor to local non-for-profits, Sheffield Place, and other non-for-profits that need help painting, and that we've just been very fortunate that we have that labor and that we can give that. And they see us doing that. All of our employees see us doing that, and they see how it's so important to me as an owner, and it reflects to them.
Okay, thank you.
How are you helping other women and underrepresented groups break into the construction industry and follow your footsteps?
You know, I've been very fortunate. I really want to say being part of this Edgemore strategic partnership class that was offered, that was my first introduction to Edgemore. We were part of their first introductory business class that they offered to minorities and females. And I met so many minorities and females, and I was actually able to partner up with several of them on projects before this project even started. Just networking, other organizations, Women Construction Owners and Executives, NAWIC, an organization for women in construction, networking with them has just broadened my horizon of how to push it forward. And you're right, females and minorities don't want to be underestimated. We want everyone to know that we too can do this and we can be successful. And I've just been gifted this by having wonderful clients come back repeating.
You know, having kind of the most important project in our community with the airport, how has that changed your company, and how do you plan to give that back to the community?
Well, Edgemore has developed what's called a workforce training program. So anyone that has a contract out there has been asked to find labor that was not necessarily in the construction field. And so we are actually hiring people that have always wanted to be in the labor field and a trade field and self-perform on this project. And every contractor out there has a goal that they will hire and keep hired and teach people that were not necessarily in construction. We are part of it, and we have active people working with us there. And we know that they'll be employed through Hartline for a long time because of this program.
Love hearing that good stuff about networking. It's kind of my jam. This candidate that's coming up next is a physician-owned and operated psychiatric practice. They partner with health organizations of all sizes to increase accessibility to quality and affordable behavioral health care, whether it's in-person or telehealth. Please welcome Integrated Psychiatric Consultants.
At Integrated Psychiatric Consultants, we are committed to being the best solution for all of your behavioral health care needs. We are a private physician-owned and operated psychiatric practice, and for the last 20 years, our providers have partnered with healthcare organizations of all sizes and levels of care to help increase accessibility to quality and affordable behavioral health care. By filling every type of psychiatric need, from leadership and full-time roles to consultation liaison and on-call coverage, we can meet your on-site and telepsych healthcare needs for patients of all ages, from child and adolescent to geriatric. With nearly 80 providers, including psychiatrists, psychiatric nurse practitioners, and physician assistants, as well as behavioral health therapists of every level of licensure, we are committed to not only filling a void within your organization, but by building a long-lasting relationship and becoming your trusted behavioral health partner.
Hey, good morning, and congratulations on pulling together a group of professionals, which is kind of leads to my question is, you have all these individual independent professionals. How do you create a company out of that and create a culture and, you know, build that around these individual business people?
Great question, and thank you first and foremost to the KC Chamber for this opportunity, and to the judges. We appreciate this opportunity, and the rest of the other companies presenting, best of luck. So it all became from our founder and CEO, Dr. Vishal Adma. He put together one by one a team that meant, let's do it for family first and build something that we can be proud of, and make sure that if our patients are getting the best care possible, the business side will work out as well. So he grew it through persons with passion and care in mind to help a population that were vulnerable and in need of this care. So he reached out to those who had gaps and couldn't provide it and said, what can I do? How can we be your solution? So over the years, we've continued to find people with that passion and desire to help this population and help us impact our communities in ways that we couldn't before. So it's been a great growth period to now we're truly an IPC family. We get together, we have barbecues, and we try and bring our providers in together to make sure that everyone feels that support and family so that they're giving the best care they can to each of our patients.
Great.
Can you talk a little bit about your growth model? Are we looking to move outside of the area at all, or just continue to grow in our region?
I can defer to Brandy to answer that more so as that's her area. But yes, we have become the largest psychiatric provider in the Kansas City metro and have now began expanding beyond into Missouri and into Illinois through Brandy's work.
Yes, so I'm the Director of Clinical Partnerships, and we have started expanding, as Ryan said, Missouri, Illinois. We're also focusing on Arkansas, Oklahoma, and even have providers who are in states such as Texas, Illinois, Florida, and even more. So really, we are all about just being able to grow where we're needed, as we're needed.
Great. And when I reviewed kind of your recruitment video, the word flexibility is what seemed to come up the most from your staff. How do you allow for that flexibility while also kind of balancing the business needs?
Most challenging part, certainly on our end, is that back office time to make that flexibility. Most competitors in our field will be pretty strict. This is what we offer, take or leave it. We don't believe in that. Each of our clients have a unique experience, as do the patients that seek that care. So we have asked all of our providers to allow for that flexibility. We've built in time for our back office team to do that. So we will invest in them, put more support behind each provider so that they can give that flexible schedule, part-time or full-time, and be able to help at multiple facilities. So it's been a lot of energy on our end, but well worth it because our clients really appreciate that opportunity to have an item or menu to pick from more so than just here's what we offer.
Right, and I think not only just our clients being satisfied with that flexibility is also the providers that we employ, and we've got over a 97% provider retention rate actually. So I think that speaks volumes to the culture and the family first environment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think flexibility is the word of 2021. This next candidate helped families navigate a year of COVID across the metro. They are a locally focused parenting resource for moms, families, connecting them to relevant resources, local businesses, and events, both online and offline over the past year, all while creating and encouraging supportive and inclusive community. Please welcome Kansas City Mom Collective.
Kansas City Mom Collective has offered support and resources for moms navigating a pandemic, social unrest, and guiding our families through it all. We believe a community is only as strong as its mothers who are raising the next generation of Kansas City. We provided resources on quarantining with toddlers, navigating homeschool, how to safely explore Kansas City, how to have a baby during a pandemic, how to celebrate holidays without traditions, how to be confident with your choices when one more decision feels like too much. We also guided our community on how to talk about race and privilege in a year when these conversations were more crucial than ever. We provided perspectives on examining white privilege, amplifying the voices of moms of color, creating social change as a family, and how to raise a generation that will create a more equitable world. Kansas City Mom Collective is committed to creating an encouraging and supportive community, both online and offline, for the moms of Kansas City, and to continue to fuel pride for this great city.
Hello, and congratulations on your pivot in 2020, going through COVID. And I would like you to talk a little bit about your pivot in general, from the hobby, when you first started, to pivoting to what you call a substantial business. How did you guys go through that process, and what are your goals, for the next year, 6 months to a year to grow?
We started 8 years ago, and it was more of a hobby. We kind of took anybody who would write and really focused on building our content and building our audience. And it wasn't really until me as a leader hired help and a team that we really could grow and develop our different facets of business and reach more people. And it's really true that, with a team, we were able to do more. And then future growth.
So I came on 3 years ago, and Sarah had done an excellent job of building the audience of Kansas City Mom Collective. And we realized that businesses would probably want to connect with those women who follow us online and social media. And so we started looking at outside advertisers and partnerships and creating great content for them. Last year, we did pivot a lot, and we created, from our in-person events that we used to have, we ended up doing drive-through events, and our sponsors were delighted to have an opportunity to connect with those moms again. And our audience was overjoyed to be able to still celebrate the magic of the holiday season. In terms of future growth, we're always looking to evolve our content to meet the needs of our audience, since the needs of moms are always changing. We always add new events, resource guides. We're looking at some additional, like another platform, possibly a podcast. And then our 5-year plan could be, now that we've sort of created a name for ourselves in the Kansas City market, really looking to expand to those outside markets in Kansas City and beyond Kansas City and Kansas and Missouri that could help serve those moms in outlying markets.
Great. I want to understand the conversations you guys had internally when you decided to pivot around the Black Lives Matter protest and the movement, and how that's continued to go in your kind of meetings. How did you decide, why did you decide to pivot to that kind of content, and how did the conversation go with all the writers?
I think, we did shy away from anything, that we felt political or, as we're growing our audience, just because, as social media goes today, can be very contentious, and we've always wanted it to be a safe place. But as, the events over the last couple of years, it's clear that creating a safe place means speaking out. For all moms of Kansas City, we have a diverse team, and we want them personally to feel safe in our space, and moms, all over Kansas City. And although, it's not like we didn't get some backlash for some of the stands we took, it just became, our mission is to reach all moms. We cannot be silent and allow, moms in our community to suffer, but then also as moms, we're dealing with how to approach this issue with our families. And so it's something that moms are wrestling with, what to tell their kids, what's too much, examining their own white privilege for our moms, our white moms in Kansas City. And so it was just a place where we saw our community really needed resources and a voice. And we were felt compelled and moved that was our role.
Very good. Good stuff here. Okay, we are officially halfway home. Not on my prompter, but it's true. We're halfway there. We're going to take a minute and pause and once again thank the businesses in Greater Kansas City that support the Small Business Celebration. Special thanks to our overall small business programming sponsor, Evergy, which has been a part of this celebration for a long time. Evergy provides resources and tools to help small businesses across the region thrive and grow. Thank you once again to Evergy. Our next candidate makes a trip to the dentist, something your family looks forward to. With 3 locations across both sides of the state line and an on-site mobile studio, caring for patients is their top priority. Please welcome Love to Smile.
Thank you so much. I'm Shontae, I'm lead of operations. And I'm Allison, on-site coordinator. Love to Smile Dentistry was founded by Dr. Esther Peterson in 2011, with Dr. Sunny Patel joining in 2012. We are minority owned, staffed, and female driven. We are Kansas City based, offering comprehensive dental care to the entire family, while also serving corporations in the greater KC area with our mobile dental studio, Love to Smile on site since 2019. Since launching Love to Smile in 2011, our staff has increased by 22 team members, and we have continued to see a positive increase in revenue and profitability. At Love to Smile, we are a team with an uncompromising commitment to provide the highest quality care and an environment to be proud of. We provide predictable results that will last a lifetime and make a difference in our patients' lives. Love to Smile is honored to hold community partnerships, building a stronger society for the present and future of KC. We support our local churches, staff, and members, fellow small businesses, and the Veterans Community Project Outreach Center by offering free dental care to homeless and uninsured veterans. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations on your accomplishments. One thing I wanted to find out more about, you've grown as far as your employees. Tell us, what are some of the ways that your company celebrates success with your employees?
Yeah, so we actually celebrate in a number of ways. So we celebrate different milestones throughout the year. So the first one being when an employee completes their first 30 days with us. We also celebrate birthdays by providing lunch to our staff. We have an employee who puts together care packages, not only for us, but all of our patients. So we had a patient that graduated yesterday. She had balloons that she literally pulled out from underneath her desk, had a card that we signed for the patient, and then just set various goals throughout the year. You know, that could be different from employee to employee, whether it be setting an Invisalign record or even achieving a personal goal within their lives.
Thank you.
Hi there. Your application indicates that you've more than doubled the number of minority employees over the past several years, and also indicated that you have a diversity, equity, and inclusion policy in place. Can you talk to us about that and how you've gone about building a diverse workforce and what it means to your organization?
Yeah, so we have built our employee staff is we have different we're very minority. Excuse me. We have a staff made up of Black, white, Hispanic, also Korean, Indian. We are minority owned. Both of our owners are of Indian ethnicity.
We're very diverse as well. We have members of our team who are LGBTQ. Anybody who walks through our door, we just make sure they're on board with our values and want to just be there for the patients. That is our biggest thing. Regardless of your background, as long as you fall in line with our values and wanting to be there for the general public and just change people's lives, I mean, you are more than welcome in our office to work there as a patient. We pride ourselves on being incredibly diverse and including everybody. Yes.
Great, thank you. You've also, looks like you've had steady growth over the past 3 years. What do you attribute that to?
Our culture. I mean, when a patient literally walks through the door, we stand up and greet them. A lot of our patients will even come and hug us. We literally just treat you like family. When our doctors talk to our patients, they tell them exactly what they would do for their own mom or dad. We are not trying to sell anything. We are literally there we are trying to tell you what you need. If you choose to do it or not, I mean, we're there the whole time. There is never any force or anything like that. We are not salesy. We just want to take care of your health because it contributes to your overall health. I think a lot of people don't realize that. So we just want to make sure that people are happy, healthy, and leave with a smile on their face. We love to smile and we want to make you smile.
I'm definitely smiling. This candidate is this candidate is one of the largest IT managed service providers in the metro. They specialize in helping small and medium-sized businesses outsource their technology so those businesses can focus on their core demographic. Please welcome NetStandard.
If 2020 taught us anything, it's that technology is more than just setting up a network for your workstations. Technology can enable or disable your business. Hi, I'm Jamie Simpson, Chief Operating Officer at NetStandard. We are an IT managed service provider based in Kansas City, and for more than 25 years, we've been focused on helping clients stay ahead of the technology curve. Whether it's simplifying complex technologies, providing 24/7/365 access to support personnel, or providing comfort by being one of the few SOC 2 compliant MSPs in the region, we take care of technology so our clients can focus on growing their business. Like your business, not all geeks are created equal, and we want to prove it.
Thank you so much. I love that tagline. Question for you. So the Mr. K Award is about the 4 pillars: growth and sustainability, employee relations, community involvement, diversity, and inclusion. Can you tell us, how does your company compare as it relates to your core values?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, every company wants to grow, and certainly the 4 pillars of what the Mr. K Award is about is what every company aspires to. And one of the things that we do as a business is by providing technology to companies and aligning with their strategy, we not only help hopefully ourselves meet those objectives, but we can help our clients meet those objectives as well. And we're really passionate about doing that here at NetStandard. For us, we've got our company was founded 25 years ago by 2 guys that really believed in the community and really believed in the importance of things like integrity and professionalism and excellence and customer value. And those are the kind of attributes we look at in all of our employees, and we look to give opportunities to those who are ready for them. So I think that we've really aligned over the past year around those core competencies, figuring out how to grow, figuring out how to treat our employees with respect and give them the tools they need to be successful. And then using those tools in the community to help out has been a big part of what we've done over the last year.
Thank you.
Can you please talk about the business challenges you've faced, both in developing a workforce and a diverse workforce, and then as your industry has changed, and you've mentioned in your application how it's evolved from high margin services to more lower margin activities. How has that affected you, and how have you responded?
Yeah, I think, and to answer the diversity question first, I think IT services and really technology and STEM careers are really in demand. It's a really competitive market space. And so it's important that we not only provide the right opportunities for people, but we had to really evaluate what types of positions we have open. I think over the last couple of years, we've really prided ourselves in hiring really experienced engineers and technologists, and that's great, but it's hard to build diversity when you're looking for people who already have a lot of experience. So one of the things we've done over the past year is really focus on how to build internships, how to reach out and connect to some of the educators around, and then how to build entry-level positions so that we're able to give people who aren't in the industry opportunities to get a foot in the industry. And as a woman in technology, I think that that's really important, that we provide opportunities for people. So that would be my answer to the diversity question. And in terms of how we've adjusted to the market, I think any technology business that's been around 25 years has had to go through a few changes. And 10 years ago, we could make money by hosting a data center, and really it's like an apartment building for technology junk, and you throw your gear in there and you let it sit there, and it's pretty high margin for most of the providers. But we can't do that anymore because, 1, it's a commodity, and 2, customers need more than that. I think customers can find cloud services or hosting services anywhere. And so what we really had to look at was, what do companies need to grow, and what are the problems that we're uniquely positioned to solve? And I think when you can look at your business and look at the things you're trying to accomplish, and then figure out how to use technology to get you to where you want to go, those are the interesting conversations that business people want to have. That's the technology you want to talk about. I can love that. I can love that about IT. I can't love calling somebody because my phone's broken or fixing my mouse. I think we're excited about being involved in conversations that go much deeper. And that's just what we're passionate about here at NetStandard.
Good stuff. Our next candidate provides scientists and clinicians with products that enable 3D production of patient-specific cells and biologics. This helps develop new personalized therapeutics in tissue engineering, regenerative medicine, cellular therapy, diagnostic development, and vaccines. Please welcome Ronawk.
Hi, I'm AJ Malott, CEO and co-founder of Ronawk. Have you ever imagined what you would give if a loved one was seriously injured? You would give anything to help them, right? What if there was a way to enable personalized healing for your loved one? At Ronawk, that is what we're working toward. Ronawk was founded in 2019 for 2 purposes. 1, to allow the founders to apply their unique talents to develop technologies that enable personalized healing for our veterans, our loved ones, and our community. And 2nd, to create biotechnologies that could inspire students to pursue STEM careers to help better local communities. We have grown from a 300 square foot office to a 4,400 square foot facility and are on the cusp of taking over a 15,000 square foot space. We are looking to create 25 full-time positions over the next 18 months, and as of 2021, have become a certified LGBT business enterprise. We are here to do as much as we can to help the greater Kansas City community.
That's wonderful, AJ. Thank you so much. You know, in this industry, you all are new, so this is very interesting. Can you tell us something about some obstacles that you faced and how you've overcome those obstacles?
Yes, so I think one of the challenges that we have faced is just being able to recruit talent. So we have found in the past year, excuse me, there is a great diversity of talent within Kansas City coming up through K through 12 and going through our universities. But we are trying to actually retain that talent here in Kansas City. And so part of that is by working with partners across the community to keep the STEM talent in Kansas City with some of our startups. And so that's been I think our biggest challenge is how do we attract and keep STEM talent here?
Great. First off, I love the bow tie. Good luck.
Thank you.
Bow tie always works. I love what you're doing, especially here in Kansas City. Can you talk about the Kansas City biomedical community and how it has perhaps supported you and the potential you think exists for both Ronawk and the industry in Kansas City as a whole?
Absolutely. So we're very fortunate to be here in Kansas City in the middle of the animal health corridor. We have several wonderful universities surrounding Kansas City, organizations like BioNexus, BioKansas, that are all working together to support companies like Ronawk and other biotechs. Now, what's great about that is since we have so many startups here in the biotech space, we are all working to support each other through our own creative technologies. And as we are starting to find each other, new opportunities are presenting themselves for collaboration. And I personally believe we have the potential to turn Kansas City into a biotech hub that could compete with San Francisco and Boston.
Great. One more question. Since what you do is so complex, how do you describe what you do to a complete layperson, like a kindergartner?
That's a great question. And we love to teach at Ronawk. So if I'm talking to a kindergartner, I basically tell them, you know, there is this amazing potential within your own body to help heal you when you get injured. And so what we're doing at Ronawk is we are just taking a small little piece of that we can use for later to help you if you get hurt at all over time.
Great, thank you.
Very cool. Speaking like I'm a kindergartner, I can dig that. Our next candidate is a creative and marketing agency focused on connecting brands to the modern consumer. They pride themselves in being transparent, collaborative, and using all of their experiences to create meaningful relationships and compelling content. Please welcome Social Apex.
How do you connect to the modern consumer? At Social Apex, we help bring your stories to life with social to commercial video production, strategy behind every piece of content, paid media to drive revenue, and social media management to truly connect to your community. We help tell your brand story in the most authentic way possible. So share your story with us, and we'll share it with the world.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. So question about community involvement. Can you share with us how involved are you with the community and what do you all do to help support your employees as it relates to community involvement?
Yeah, absolutely. First, we're honored to be in, great company with everyone here and, introduce ourselves like Sam Kulikov, Mark Josie, we're with Social Apex. I think first and foremost, we reflect the community in which we serve. And so whether that is who we bring on, as part of our organization, what clients we work with, what, philanthropies we're excited about, like that is all very important to us. And that's reflective in our work. And that's reflective in, the clients which we engage with. So.
Thank you.
So I know diversity is a particular challenge in the marketing industry. Can you talk about diversity and inclusion, what it means to you, and how Social Apex is addressing those challenges?
Absolutely, yeah. So, when we started a little over 3 years ago now, when we set out, it was to build something different. And obviously, Kansas City is a massive marketing hub, international in that regard. So when we did this and built Social Apex, we knew that taking a niche approach and building an organization that was consisted of different generations, different socioeconomic backgrounds, different backgrounds creatively, different backgrounds in business, we knew that would create a more viable product and a more viable runway for our company. And luckily for us, that was the case. One of the main reasons we've been successful is because we've opened our arms and really just said, like, how can we really represent the community in which we serve, as Mark said, and that is really the best way that we can move forward and build the best product, because not one group of people and not one person has all of the answers to solve. So especially when we look at marketing, when you have a very homogeneous workforce and they're all servicing different clients, you get a pretty cookie cutter product sometimes, which is necessary in some agencies and totally respected. A lot of people do amazing work in this area. But for us and for certain businesses, a different approach is required that's a little bit more fluid and requires input from different people in the community, from different backgrounds, whether that be, racial, religious, generational, or otherwise. So we really pride ourselves on not only hiring, but having ownership of diverse background, because that to us is not a tokenized marketing tool. It's not about making a cute flyer. It's about actually being representative, because not only it's the right thing to do, but it makes us more successful.
Wonderful.
Good stuff. Our next candidate is a woman-owned video production company owned by two sisters. Not only do they specialize in cutting-edge videos, events, and marketing, but they work to help other women in video production. Please welcome Stellar Image Studios.
I'm Amber. And I'm Jasmine. And we're the co-owners of Stellar Image Studios. We are very excited to be nominated again for the Emerging Small Business Award. I would say our accomplishments have been really vast this past year. Right when the pandemic hit, Amber and I met with our business mentor to come up with a survival strategy. And through that aggressive marketing, we were able to grow our client list from 18 clients to 43 clients. So some of the ways we give back to the community is show Sis Hands-On Workshop, meant for women who are new in the industry, and they get to attend a free 7-week-long workshop. Every single year we have an annual event called On Stage with Sis, where we give upcoming local musicians a platform to perform. And all of these accomplishments could not have been possible without our diverse team. We have grown to 5 full-time employees and now have 3 interns. And we thank the KC Chamber for this opportunity.
Congratulations. So I wanted to talk about employee relations. So I understand you and your partner are sisters. So can you tell us a little bit more about working with family and how you all have learned to be successful working so close together?
Yeah, actually working with Amber, my sister, is one of my favorite parts of my job. We're very different, so that's why it works, I think. So I handle all of the business side of things, the operations, project management, and Amber is the creative. So she is the one with the big picture and really oversees our creative team. And so we stay out of each other's lane and can collaborate really well together, and we're really truthful with one another. And I think that's imperative in a business partnership.
Thank you.
Hi there. Congratulations again on being nominated again this year. Kansas City has a crowded marketing industry, and including video production and all of that. And you seem to have pretty good success. You've done well relatively quickly. To what do you attribute that success, and what do you look for going forward as the business evolves? Do you see yourself staying, doing what you're doing, or do you see yourself expanding into more things?
Yeah, so I think what I attribute our growth to is, one, Amber and I's business partnership. Like I said, we have a business side of the business and then a creative, and that's really, really important in a creative company. And then I would also say our team has allowed us to grow. We couldn't do what we do without them. Our culture is really strong. We're like a big work family. And with our clients, we really listen to what they're wanting in their videos. And I think that's what kind of sets us apart too. And we deliver our videos on time and on budget. And to answer the question about expanding, we are planning on expanding and have been doing so. We've grown our client list, but really we want to focus on serving our clients to the best that we can, and then growing strategically. So we have that, instead of having a runway growth, we have a strategic growth.
And can you tell us a little bit about your community involvement? What do you all do to help support the Kansas City community?
So we do a lot. Giving back to the community in our DNA is in our DNA. We support Big Brothers Big Sisters a lot. We have an intern from the Big Brothers Big Sisters program this summer, and I've been a Big for 8 years now. And then we also create a fundraising team every year as a whole. And last year we were a VIP fundraising team. And we also host On Stage with Sis, which is a local concert that we host with upcoming musicians. A portion of our ticket sales are going back to Big Brothers Big Sisters. And we also have the Sis Hands-On Workshop, which is a 7-week intensive course for women who are interested in video production. Since we're in a pretty male-dominated space, we're trying to build our pipeline of diverse employees.
Good stuff. Thanks once again to all of our sponsors that make our annual Small Business Celebration possible. Right now, we want to thank and recognize Honeywell. Honeywell has helped small businesses navigate COVID through grants and other resources. They are sponsors of the Honeywell Fan Favorite Award today, so don't forget to vote for your Honeywell Fan Favorite from today's presentations after all of the candidates present. We will announce that at 5 p.m. live on the Casey Chambers Facebook page. Thank you, Honeywell. Our next candidate has led the industry in infrared light therapy used in health and wellness space for more than 20 years. They've developed smart technology within their saunas and were featured on shows like Oprah and Dr. Oz over the years. Please welcome Sunlighten.
Connie and I met at Procter & Gamble, and we were both in the healthcare industry with goals and aspirations to truly make a difference. And we realized that there are certain core competencies that each of us had that if we put it together, something special really could come.
The end result was magical. And so it really wasn't about us being a couple as much as it was two brains working together who were passionate about making a difference. And if we really did work together, what could we create and what could become of it?
What did it mean to win the Mr. K award? For us, it was a North Star. Winning that award really was sharing that we were on the right path and truly making a difference in the Kansas City community.
Along the way, if we can accomplish the mission and vision that we set forth at Sunlighten, which is, to bring light, hope, and happiness to people everywhere and to leave this world a healthier place as a result of what we do every day, wow, that would be amazing.
Congratulations on your continued success. You all were previously recognized as Mr. K Award winner for growth, employee engagement, and community involvement. Since that time, how have you continued to build on that, and how have you incorporated diversity into your business?
Yeah, first I'll just address how we've continued to build on some of those since that time. You know, it was one of the best things I think that happened to us to win that award, and it was about that time that we were featured on Oprah. So it was like the highest of the highs, but we had so much demand coming out of that, that it also could be some of the lowest of the lows, as we really had a lot of learnings about supply and inventory management. So I think that's what the greatest thing about being a small business is, that you get to continually learn. You have just great experiences, and then you have times where you've just got to bootstrap it and figure out how to make it work. As far as the diversity and inclusion, you know, one of our core values is be true to yourself, be true to the person across the table. And we really embrace that and have for 20 years. 10% of our workforce is LGBTQ, probably another 10% is ethnically diverse, with a team in India where we recognize religious holidays and cultural holidays and time that they need to take off for prayer. 50% of our leadership team are women. So I think we've found a lot of ways to really make sure we make our company better when we embrace diversity and people with a lot of different perspectives.
Congratulations on this nomination. And as a former winner, you know, there's sometimes pressure, you know, to continue to live up to the values of what you guys have already known of Mr. K. From a business strategy, though, as you guys grow into the future past this pandemic, what are some strategies that you're doing different to continue to the success that you guys already have shown?
You know, one of my favorite things, and I kind of mentioned this, is we just never stop learning. We never stop trying. I think half the time you just really need to show up and you need to just try it. And I think as our owners, Connie and Aaron, are all about real entrepreneurship, you just have to figure it out. And when you're a completely integrated manufacturer like we are, it is, I mean, COVID has been a bit of a challenge because you are sourcing wood that has low supply. You know, China has had its issues, shipping, logistics, things getting stuck in port, and really being able to get product to consumers. Every single time we go through something like that, we are learning more. And the great news is people are really starting to take an interest and engagement in their wellness. So when you're a sauna manufacturer, people want to bring those wellness tools into their home. So that's been the positive coming out of COVID, is that people are really, really starting to care about taking care of their bodies and recovering and muscle recovery and staying healthy. So that's been a really positive coming out of it too. So again, another opportunity to learn.
All right, our next candidate is a KC-based virtual winery with a collection of wines that range from party in a can to your everyday wine drinker to age-worthy bottles. They strive to make the wine industry more inclusive and diverse through their KC Mac sparkling canned wine. Please welcome to your screen the AV Collection.
Hi, I'm Kelly Flowers. I'm here with Blair Coker, Adam Miller, and Keith Spreckles. We're the AV Collection, and we started with a single idea of putting a premium wine in a can. And from there, KC Mac was born, with a mission to empower women, promote diversity and inclusion in the wine industry, and give back to kids' music programs. And we launched in August of 2020, and like many businesses, we were faced with a ton of challenges, but it didn't deter us from our mission of giving back.
Yeah, from the beginning, a cornerstone of our business was to donate back to our community. So with every sale of KC Mac, $1 per 4-pack is donated to the Harmony Project right here in Kansas City. Beyond monetary giving, our environmental impact was important for us to consider as well. So we chose canned wine because of the shipping efficiency, recyclability, and then the lower greenhouse gas emissions that come from selling in a can.
As Kelly already mentioned, diversity, equity, and inclusion is a hallmark and a cornerstone of what we do, not just in the representation of our leadership team, but maker identifies as a Black male. We want to make sure that we're creating inroads and forging inroads of diversity into our industry and the creative industries as well. And so looking at organizations such as the Brand Lab, in which I'm a board member, we've supported them through Wine Sales, which is an organization that helps, again, to create diversity in creative industries such as ours. And so really excited to be here. I'm kick it over to Keith, talk a little bit more about some things.
I'm here to answer any questions. Let's do it.
Cheers.
Congratulations, guys. As we all know, wine does bring people together. Can you expect, one of Mr. K's visions for Kansas City was to bring all people together to better our city. Can you expand a little bit more from an internal standpoint as some of the training that you're doing to ensure just an inclusive environment for all? You guys are doing a great job for what you shared, but can you just expand a little bit more on that?
Yeah, I'm the director of diversity for an ad agency here in Kansas City. In my other job, I have a lot of jobs that I do here. So I lead a lot of the training here on the team. Every quarter, we always start out with just general roundtable, what's going on, what's in people's lives individually. And then we have usually like an article or some sort of a podcast that we share out where people can debrief and expound upon that before getting into the work that we do. So we really think it's important for us to level set as owners of this company and move forward in lockstep as it pertains to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and make sure that we're all understanding current trends as it pertains to diversity work.
As a relatively new business and outside of COVID, I'm curious of what the greatest challenges you have experienced are, and then what do you see in the future looking out?
Well, the greatest challenge, COVID was by far the greatest challenge. Wine as a category was way up, but wine as a company, if as small as we are, was not. People weren't shopping, they were buying brands we know. So we actually were supposed to launch in March. We did a huge event for Folds of Honor a week before the pandemic started, March 7th, actually, which is kind of crazy. And we had to push our launch back until August. So the challenge of getting people to support a brand that they don't know in a time when shopping is not really a thing has been by far the biggest challenge we've had. And going forward, what we've noticed is, it feels like everybody thinks the pandemic's over because people have gotten crazy recently out everywhere. So the trend we've seen going forward is as long as we stay the mission and keep our mission at hand as the focus, then we think we'll be able to push through and stay on our original plan from before the pandemic.
And where can everyone find your products?
Oh, this is great. I feel like I'm on an infomercial. So you can go to kcmac.com and get it delivered straight to your door if you'd like for $1 shipping, or you can join our subscription service. Also, we do support a lot of different places around town. We work at Cellarat, Wine Merchant, Whole Foods, Justin's, a lot of different places in the KC metro area. On-premise hotel, Hartline, our Bar K.
Sure. Chicken and Pickle.
Chicken and Pickle. Yeah, we did an event with Chicken and Pickle last week and the week before. They've been a great partner so far. So yeah, if you can't find us out in the market, just jump to our website.
Or you can just come by and grab a can from me on the house.
We'll be right over. So thanks, guys.
We'll see you there.
Yeah, I'm going to carpool with Brad on that one. Okay, what began as sourcing products for a home renovation turned into buying truckloads of liquidated items from retailers. This is how our next candidate was born. They carefully collect the best quality, on-trend home furnishings and offer those furnishings at highly discounted prices while saving the products from landfills. Please welcome the Schupp Collective.
I'm Stephanie Schupp, the founder of the Schupp Collective. We're a proud female-owned business here in Kansas City. The Schupp Collective carefully collects and curates the best quality on-trend home furnishings and offers them at highly discounted rates. We established our LLC in December of 2020. I'm proud to say we've never taken out a business loan to do this. All you need is a warehouse and your first truckload, and you're gaining capital. As we grew a presence on social media, we began to catch the attention of major brands and national media outlets. Through this, I was able to secure a contract with the world's largest rug manufacturer. We launched our Des Moines location May 1st. We're launching St. Louis this summer. As I became more involved in the industry, I realized that a huge part of our business is sustainability. If we didn't take on these pieces, they would end up in landfills. Items we don't sell, we give to charities around the KC Metro. It's been an honor to be a solution to a global problem, and I think we'll be able to make a huge impact over the next several years. Thank you for having me.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm curious, as you talk about making an impact over the next few years, Can you elaborate on that a little bit more and how you truly see that playing out?
Absolutely. So anything you've ever returned to a big box retailer, whether it be Target, Bed Bath & Beyond, et cetera, it never goes back to the shelf. So what I found is these products are ending up in distribution centers across the US. Now, what else we're seeing is people are shopping at a 70% increase, and it's only increasing every year. So say, for example, I order 5 chairs. 4 of them don't work, I return them. What happens to these products? They're ending up in these distribution centers and they're brand new products. And so where I saw a solution to a problem is I went to these distribution centers and realized, wow, I can buy these for a percentage of retail cost, turn around and sell these new products. Now what we're seeing is an overstock problem by all of these companies with the increase in online shopping. So for example, Home Goods can only take on so much. TJ Maxx can only take on so much. Where the Schupp Collective came in is we became the first polished brand in the industry to really be able to feed that solution.
Congratulations once again on this nomination. You talk about solutions. What are some of the solutions that you guys have considered or maybe doing as a small business to position yourself over the next few years to sustain the growth that you're looking for?
That's a great question. I think every day I wake up trying to figure out how we're going to sustain this growth. You know, I have a huge network of people who have been supporting me, business mentors, the KC Chamber, for example. My growth was never anticipated or expected. And as we started gaining momentum, it was really like, take a step back and wow, you're wanting to hurry up and beat competition because really this is not a proprietary business. It's easy to replicate. Now, what do we protect? We protect our brand and our supply. As we, maintained our brand on social media, we began to protect our supply because these companies wanted to work with us. And so I think continuing to protect our brand and supply is going to sustain us the next years.
All right, good stuff. Our next candidate is a certified B Corporation focused exclusively on financing housing and economic development for American Indian, Alaska Native, and Native Hawaiian communities. They have generated more than $1.5 billion in affordable housing and economic development in 22 states across the country. Please welcome Travois.
Hi, everybody. My name's Phil Glenn, and I'm the president of Travois. Really proud to introduce you to our company today. As David said, we've been around since 1995. And since then, we've brought over $1.5 billion worth of investment to American Indian, Alaska Native, and Native Hawaiian communities across the country. This has resulted in the building of over 5,000 homes and the creation of over 5,000 jobs. We're growing. We've seen our profitability increase consistently and significantly over each of the last 3 years. We're bringing on new clients in new states and offering them new services to help them solve their community's problems. For us, community involvement is really important. Our executive and members of our team serve on boards of directors across the metro area, the American Heart Association, Habitat for Humanity, Port KC, just to name a few. The culture of our business is that of a family business. That's how we started. That's what we continue to be. We offer on-site childcare to help our working parents be close to their kids, try to keep that family atmosphere going. And finally, as far as diversity, equity, and inclusion goes, it's been in our DNA since we started as a company. Our mission is to work exclusively with Indigenous people. And we try to live that out and continue that tradition by sponsoring an internship program each year for a student from Haskell Indian Nations University in Lawrence.
Congratulations. Great work you guys are doing locally and globally. Can you share just a little bit more just on your diversity, equity, and inclusion? With the pandemic, I'm sure a lot of your employees were put out working from home, working remotely. How has the training been for you guys to continue these efforts to ensure that it's an inclusive and environment that you're trying to maintain?
We just had to use the tools to communicate that were at our disposal. Building a culture by being together in person and trying to have fun and be a team was what we did before the pandemic. And so we tried to find as many ways as we possibly could to do that virtually. We tried to have virtual lunches as a team, something we used to do in person every Friday. We did virtual Travois First Fridays, which is something we used to do by bringing the whole community through our doors to view some of the most incredible and inspiring artwork being done by contemporary Native American artists working all over the country. And now that our staff is vaccinated and our clients are beginning to invite us out on site again, we're starting to get back together in person, and it's going to be much easier to continue to maintain and further build that culture and continue to make diversity, equity, and inclusion a priority now that we're all going to be back together in person.
Thank you.
Phil, congratulations on your nomination. I noticed in your application, and David mentioned as well, you're a certified B Corporation. Can you tell us what that means and what it takes to accomplish that certification?
A B Corporation is a business that places its social and environmental goals on the same level as its profitability goals. That's what Travois has been doing since 1995. Our founders made that part of our mission back before B Corps became a thing, or back before talking about that type of thing became unusual or special. So it's something that's always seemed normal to us at Travois. It's something that we believe has really helped us attract absolutely the best people. We have the best people in the business working on our architecture, our development consulting, our investment teams, and the people who work in administrative roles helping us to run our business. So being focused on the social mission of serving American Indian, Alaska Native, Native Hawaiian communities that suffer from disproportionate rates of poverty and unemployment, lack of access to good jobs and quality affordable housing, we've built a team of people who are passionate about doing something about it.
And with investors, do you look for the same in terms of their perspective?
We do, and sometimes it takes some education, but what we found is that, especially after what's happened in the US throughout the last 2 years, it's made a lot of large institutions. I want to specifically recognize US Bank, which is our largest new markets tax credit investor. They have been very intentional about making investing in diverse communities a priority, not just something that they talk about or not just something they want to use for PR purposes, but they've made it part of their investment standards. And we're really proud to work with organizations like that. Obviously, investing in indigenous communities and only in projects that are sustainable and provide family wage jobs has been part of our investment standards since the beginning. But what we're finding is that more and more investors, not just US Bank, others as well, understand that they have a role to play in positive social change. And so many of them are starting to put their money where their mouth is. It's getting really exciting.
Good stuff, Phil. Our final candidate of the 2021 showcase is a custom manufacturer specializing in commercial and military aerospace structures and components. They support commercial, military, and industrial customers with cost-effective manufacturing solutions, ensuring that quality and customer service is always their top priority. Please welcome UltraTech Aerospace.
Welcome to UltraTech Aerospace. We are a custom manufacturer in Kansas City, Kansas, and we specialize in commercial and military aerospace structures, assemblies, and components. We support our broad customer base with cost-effective manufacturing solutions, ensuring the highest levels of quality and customer service. UltraTech has been in business since 1983, and while we began as a small family machine shop supporting local industrial customers, we've grown into a multi-million-dollar company that supports world-renowned aerospace organizations, both domestically and worldwide. We're proud of our Kansas City roots and honored to be recognized alongside all the other great small businesses in the area. We look forward to the challenges of the future and are confident that we will be able to support our employees, our customers, and Kansas City for years to come.
Congratulations on your nomination. So, question I have is, one of Mr. K's visions for Kansas City was, bringing people together through our community and move us all forward together. Can you share a little bit about what you guys are doing in the way of diversity, equity, and inclusion to just kind of instill a diverse, inclusive workplace?
Yeah, good question. And I think one of the great things about going through this process is it really brings to light a lot of the areas that maybe there's some room for improvement or areas to grow in as a business. Last year for us, going through the process, we realized that we were light on the community involvement side. So we've taken some steps to address that. I think this year, as we worked through, and with everything going on in the world, we realized that we probably don't focus enough internally on diversity and supporting that. We do have a diversity policy, and it's actually the first thing in our handbook. So that's in place. We're fortunate to have a diverse workforce. We're representatives from the LGBTQ community, a variety of different ethnic backgrounds, female employees. So I think our equal opportunity employment, our anti-harassment, those things, which is part of our diversity policy, has supported us to grow that diverse workforce. But I think what we realized is that there's probably some room to grow in terms of just making resources available internally, having support groups, offering diversity training, and possibly some developmental training for our managers and our supervisors and that sort of thing. So though we don't do that currently, we're really going to look to focus on that over the next year.
That's great. As a mature company, it can be hard to achieve significant growth year over year, but you guys in the last few years have really seen some pretty significant growth. What have you done to make that happen?
Yeah, Doug, do you want to field that?
Yeah, sure. I would say that our biggest calling card is really on the quality side. For years now, even going back to the 80s, we've made quality our number one priority. And so even going back to just a few years ago, we really didn't do a lot of active marketing. A lot of our growth was very organic, and it was word of mouth, really, from customer to customer, from procurement agency to procurement agency. So we've really put a focus and put a few individuals in place to go out and do some active marketing. The industry itself is a challenge, especially with COVID and flights and a lot of these larger aerospace companies changing seemingly by the week or by the day. But we're definitely putting a large emphasis on going out, doing active marketing, things like this, going out and being recognized as a premier small business in Kansas City is just one of the things that we're using to really put UltraTech out in the marketplace and hopefully continue to generate this organic, sustainable growth that we forecast for the next few years.
All right, we did it. Once again, thank you to our sponsors for making this happen. Our presenting sponsor for the showcase is American Century Investments. We're so pleased to be able to work with Diane and the entire team at American Century to continue the tradition and the success of the Small Business Celebration, especially when we are doing this virtually for the second year in a row. Next year, we can't wait to see everyone back in person. Thank you to American Century for all of your sponsors today.
Please welcome to your screen Joe Reardon, President and CEO of the Greater Kansas City Chamber of Commerce.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks to everyone for another successful virtual candidate showcase. Congratulations to all the candidates. Man, they just did a tremendous job today and yesterday, and they really showed us why they deserve to be here in the Small Business Celebration. Thanks again to our terrific virtual showcase sponsor, American Century Investment. For the second year in a row, we had to do this. You stuck with us, and your support and collaboration, we can confidently say, has led to such a successful day and afternoon. Thank you to our judges who asked great questions of the candidates, and now, like really now, get to the tough part of narrowing down to two days of amazing candidates to our top 10 small businesses, our finalists. And in less than 2 days, we will announce the top 10 on Friday, beginning at 9 a.m. on the KC Chamber social media handles. So make sure you're following us on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. I don't think we have a TikTok yet, but get on one of those because we can't wait for that announcement on Friday. And for those of you who attended today and yesterday, you know now you have some voting to do as well. Vote for the Honeywell Fan Favorite Award. Check your inbox for the voting link. And if you didn't get the link, go to our website, kcchamber.com, and you'll see the links at the top of our page. There'll be one Honeywell Fan Favorite for each day of presentations. And don't worry, this isn't going to affect the judges' decisions for the Mr. K Award and the Specialty Awards. So we'll announce the Fan Favorite today, just in a few hours, on our KC Chamber Facebook page at 5 p.m. So stay tuned for that. And then, the big day, we announce our top 10 this Friday. So thanks again to everyone for another incredible virtual showcase, to everyone that participated, to our amazing staff. Last year when COVID hit, the Candidate Showcase was the first event we had to rethink. We knew we could do it, but we are so happy that it's been more successful than we could have imagined. And I can't wait to do this in person again next year and see everyone face-to-face, live, right there. So let's look forward to that. Good luck to all of our incredible candidates. And don't forget to vote for the Honeywell Fan Favorite and watch for the top 10 announcements again this Friday. And of course, we announce our Small Business of the Year and our Specialty Awards winners June 24th. So thanks to everyone, and I hope you have a great afternoon.